We just had to make sure that you had every sight and every sound from one of the great venues in college football, and it feels like fall today. 43 degrees as we gather in Ames for Big 12 football on TNT Sports. Presented by Modelo. Indeed, it is a rematch of last year's conference championship game. The Sun Devils and the Cyclones get together for the second time in 12 months. Mike Golick Jr., JB Long with you. 6 Big 12 teams already bowl eligible. The winner here today will join them. But of course, Mike, both these programs had much bigger goals. As the calendar turns to November, what's to play for?
Well, their bigger goals were realized last year, and so I want them to not remember the end, but the journey that got them there. We know November in the Big 12 can always be a tumultuous time, and so for both of these teams, plenty left to play for. Handle your business and give yourself that opportunity when the dust settles to maybe still have a shot at getting back where you were last year.
You could argue the two most injury-depleted teams in the conference, and for the latest, let's go down to the field. Here's Bridget Howard.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, well, as you said, it's a rematch of last year's Big 12 championship game, but this one will look quite different than the last one, given the fact that there are a number of injuries to key players on both sides. Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham has said all season, when it's rained, it's poured with injuries, and the downpour continued this week for the Sun Devils with the announcement that starting quarterback Sam Leavitt is done for the season and will undergo surgery for a lingering injury. Along with Leavitt, star wide receiver Jordan Tyson still remains sidelined with a hamstring injury for the second straight week. With all that being said, Arizona State will turn to their 6th-year veteran backup quarterback Jeff Sims. Kenny Dillingham said his last start versus Utah, we basically asked him to go start at Utah in a rainstorm at night. So today will be his first start in a favorable game for a quarterback. He'll truly get to play the game in this one.
All right, Bridget, thank you very much. And Mac, that means Rocco Becht is the clear QB advantage, one of the most entrenched starters in college football, his 36th consecutive here this afternoon.
And coming off a game where, yes, it was in a loss, but his 6th career 300-yard passing performance for a player that's made the adjustment this season after losing a couple NFL caliber wideouts from last year, reliant on the big tight end room that he's got and his own legs as a huge factor in this rushing attack that Arizona State is going to have to account for each and every series.
As we count down to kickoff, take a look at Coach Campbell, 45 years of age, the winningest coach in Iowa State football history, out for his 70th with the Cyclones today. Remember, he began his career at just 1-8, but has been unstoppable since. And speaking with him about maybe that Big 12 championship game being out of reach this year, you know, he observed that league-wide, your B game doesn't win in the Big 12 anymore, and they've experienced that in the month of October.
There's a tremendous amount of maturity and awareness of their identity in this program, and he, like so many, build to play their best football in the month of November. And they know, no matter what the end goal is, all we can control is the process, game in and game out, to try and give ourselves the best chance.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't know that I've ever prepared for a team that has spoken so directly about being disrupted by its kicking situation. That is exactly the situation here in Ames. But one reason to be optimistic about their chances here in November, they've got Jace Gilbert, their kickoff specialist, healthy and ready to go, back from injury for the first time since week 1. And Kyle Conrady, as well, a 3-time Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week, is always a threat once the offense crosses midfield. After winning the toss,